So it has been a while, but let me tell you a few things about what I'm doing. Um, all right, so I started reading this book, Voices in the City by Anita Desai. And yeah, it is pretty good. I like it. I like the writing. I have just started it actually, but I like the way it is written. I like how it sometimes moves into stream of consciousness and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Stream of consciousness and um, going deeper into the characters' inner world, how the character is feeling, what they want to do, whether they're okay or not, like everything. And I relate to it a lot. I really like it. It's beautiful. And yeah, stream of consciousness here. It's wonderful. I really like it. I really, really like stream of consciousness. I have also started writing a bit. I recently wrote a story and I submitted to a literary journal. I'm quite excited about that. Yeah. Also, I started reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, obviously, and I also started watching. Not started actually. I ended up watching um, the other Bennett sister, and it's wonderful. I love that show. It's one of the best shows ever, and I have been um, finding about like I have been underlining and just trying to understand certain things that I recently watched in The Other Bennett Sister and how it relates to the original Pride and Prejudice. So, here, one of the things Mary had heard herself mentioned to Miss Bingley as the most accomplished girl in the neighborhood. So, the most accomplished girl, it was meant in a very positive sense, but the way it was shown um, in the other Miss Bennet, it was shown with Miss Bingley being a little, um, you could say, mean, like saying that study occupies or study trumps all of the um, priorities in your mind or something like that. Which, if someone were to say that in our world, honestly, in my world, that would be a compliment. That would be the highest level of compliment in here in India. But um, that wasn't so there then. So yeah, it was something. Um, I think. I mean, meant to be it was meant to show Bingley's true character. And the thing is, I have often heard this ideology with people going about um, how Miss Bingley was shown the way Mary perceived her to be, how every character is shown that way. So Lydia, Mrs. Bennet, Miss Bingley, and others, they're basically shown the way Mary perceived them, which is wonderful. I think I really, really like that. And I think I'm going to watch that show after I'm done with this video. So, yeah, it was a wonderful redirection, you could say, because honestly, very truly, I'm tired of seeing things from Elizabeth's perspective. And there's so much that we can actually look into in this book, in books of Jane Austen, because I love her books. And the reason why I love her books is because they are such interesting social commentary, like social commentary on the time and on the class of hers. So she comes from a genteel background, which is basically privileged enough. These people are privileged enough to not want career in the sense to not have a profession in which they're working every day. And that was the idea. That was the idea of being gentle, or a gentleman. Is that a gentleman did not have to work every day. And that was what a gentleman was in a lot of ways. So yeah, despite it not being very like it being all about people from a higher step in the society who probably whose ancestors descendants at this time enjoy a lot of wealth, but might enjoy a lot of wealth. I'm not sure, but very likely. Um, for these people, despite it being quite unrelated to me, I have found it really enticing. This all of the works of Jane Austen actually. My other favorite work is Emma. Really cool, really interesting. One of the best works. It's very fun to read, and it's very fun to read a character like Emma. So I really like how I'm talking about um, Jane Austen being this being from a higher standing in society at that time of the Regency era in England. But I like how she has done commentary on people of that background, of higher, even higher background. And yeah, Persuasion too, I really like Persuasion. This is my notebook for my studies. I think we talked about Maud Fondles when I started writing. We were this age. Where is the other page? Where is the page? Where does the other page go? Where did the it's over here. Here. Okay, so I started writing of Pride and Prejudice, and I started writing in this kind of like what is it called? Format. Because it really helps. Like it's like I'm writing twice the amount of stuff. Because like if I were to write a sentence like this and it ends here in the second line, then the rest of the page, the rest of the line just goes waste. And I do not like cluttering my book. So yeah, this is really interesting. This is the first time I did it. I hadn't really thought much about different ways of formatting my notes until now, until I had started using mind maps for having a better understanding of the plot and the characters. And yeah, I have also started writing my own views after reading certain things. I started writing my views because I think that is the most important thing. I need to be able to write what I think in my exam. And yeah, I have meet in I guess less than months. And I haven't actually prepared much for it, but I had wanted to. I just wanted to give it once so that I can get some qualified. So, like, I want 200 marks in this NEET, just 200. So I started with, um, I got this book a long time ago. Yeah, I did not do very well at NEET before. But, anyways, have, I got this book a while ago. So I was doing a question paper, a previous year question paper. And I was just, and I think this is taking too much time, but I do not know what else to try. I think I would need to give much more time to studying biology, I guess. But yeah, I was studying about amensianism. It is a question here, and it is a very simple question, and I need to have a better understanding of it, right? So, and it's like I'm reading new information even though I'm not, but it felt like I'm reading new information. It is pretty fun. So I started with population interactions, and it is actually very fun. So there are different kinds of. So the general idea is that for any species, an interaction with another species is very important. Is very important for their survival because oftentimes one species feeds on another species. So we're humans, we're feeding on so many different species. If you're a vegetarian, you're eating plants. If you're non-vegetarian, if you eat other animal products, you're feeding on animals. So there are different species. You're feeding on other species, and not just that. A lot of plants use, let's say, microbes. We use microbes too. We have microbes in our gut. That is the most famous one that I know about. Like we often talk about gut health, etc., etc. So the gut health is often microbes, and that is why we are asked not to take antibiotics unnecessarily, because antibiotics basically target the bacteria in our gut, which ultimately leads to a lot of problems. One of them being your digestion is not working well, digestive system is not working well. So yeah, so microbes are also used by plants in things like I decided I had wanted to actually think about it from my memory, but I am stuttering. I do not know it, so I'm going to go and read. So even plants who need soil microbes to what is this break down? It's definitely breakdown. Sorry. Yeah, break down the organic matter in soil and return the organic nutrients for inorganic nutrients for absorption. And they need different species for pollination. Yeah. So this is very, very, very interesting how mutualism is when two species. So basically, this is what we are talking about right now is two different species interacting with each other. It happens very, very often. It's very, very common in nature. So, so it's called interspecific interactions. So there are different kinds of interactions. There's mutualism, there's competition, there's predation, there's parasitism, there's commensalism, and there's commensalism. So in mutualism, both of the species, if there are two species, both of the species are benefiting. In competition, one species, no species is benefiting. I guess it's basically competition for resources that are present. It the resources do not have to be less abundant. I mean, even with abundant resources, a lot of species end up competing. But then there are also species who do not compete, who have found a way to coexist, which is really, really cool. And then, yeah, there's predation. In predation, one species preys, preys on another one. So one species is gaining while the another one is losing. In parasitism, the same thing is happening. And in commensalism, one species is gaining while the other one is not really doing anything. In commensalism, one species is losing while the other one is not doing much anything. So yeah, that is it for today, and it is already what is it? Oh my god, it's almost 3 a.m. I actually have been talking to my best friend for the last 2 hours. I guess it was a good conversation, but I do need to focus back again. Oh yeah, I took a break. I took a break because I was very very tired. I wanted a break. I really wanted a break. I really wanted to feel better again. I think I stressed myself out a little too much. I mean, I do not think I am to blame for that. It just happens that way. There's no blame. But yeah, I did just get very, very stressed out. There were a lot of things, a lot of factors affecting that. But yeah, I'm better now. I'm much better. And it took me about 2 weeks to get better, I think. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I thought about a lot of things, and there's certain changes that I'm bringing to my life, and hopefully you're gonna know about that. If I do not get it to another one of my sons, I will. I am assuring you right now, I won't. So I'll see you soon later. And also, I am thinking of doing lives. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do them, but I am hoping to do lives, and I think I will start tomorrow at around this time or earlier than this actually. But yeah, I'll start it tomorrow, and I am hoping to uh, do at least an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, at least in the starting, because I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if I'll be able to sit for that long. Like sitting for now has been just like 20 to 30 minutes. That's not a lot, but it works for me. So yeah, that is it. I will see you later.